Joining me right now is Florida Congressman and member of the House Homeland Security Committee, Carlos Gimenez. Carlos, it's good to see you, Congressman. We so appreciate your time. Your reaction to this as we learn more about the acts and behavior of Twitter executives towing the line for the Democrat Party.
It's nothing shocking. I mean, everybody knew it was happening. The fact that people were denying it, it was just blatant lies. And now it turns out they were just blatant lies. You know, we were also told that it was artificial intelligence that was doing all of this. And maybe that describes the people that were doing it. They are artificially intelligent. So, but it was all done by people, all done at the behest of the Democrat Party and the government. And so that's why it's very, very dangerous, very serious. The government's not supposed to do this. This is a violation of the First Amendment, you know, and even trying to get other people to do it in the government's name is also a violation of the First Amendment. And so we need to investigate this, go deeper into it, not just Twitter, Facebook, Google, even Wikipedia, okay? All of those platforms people look for information. It's pretty evident to me it's got a left-leaning bias and that this has been going on for quite a long time.
Yeah, and most people, you know, they don't understand that what they're reading is actually all propaganda. You go to Wikipedia, I'm glad you mentioned Wikipedia. You go to Wikipedia and it's total propaganda. People's encyclopedia of their own bio can be changed by anybody. Go in there and just change somebody, write whatever you want about somebody.
Look, my bio, when I read it, I'm like, I did that? Are you kidding me? No, I didn't do that. And then I tried to call him and said, hey, wait a minute, you're accusing me in my own page. You're telling people that I did something which I didn't do. There's nothing I could do about it because somebody else had control of my page. And so it's all leftist propaganda. And I think even one of the founders of Wikipedia said, hey, this has gone way too far to the left. But it's, just a product of everybody being basically in the same place. It's an echo chamber, and they solidify each other's points of view. And so, that's what's going on with tech, and they need to diversify.
So, I mean, what can you do about it? You're an elected official. What can you do about it? You're on the Homeland Security Committee. You know, there's a reason that we never see any tweets about the wide open border, right, from leadership. That doesn't get a lot of play and a lot of retweets, does it?
No, I think, look, we need to investigate it. What role did government have in trying to suppress freedom of speech? Freedom of speech is one of our fundamental rights, and did government actually have an active role in doing that, in censoring people of one political persuasion or another? So we need to bring them all in, and also look, it's really fortuitous that Elon Musk actually bought Twitter and now is opening it up. And we need to do the same thing with Facebook and Google and those other platforms because they have so much power. They wield so much power over the information that we get as Americans. And so many people are influenced by what they see. And so it needs to be, look, a news journalist once told me, actually I had an interview with a news journalist telling me, well, aren't you afraid about disinformation? I said, yeah, I'm afraid about disinformation. But the best way to combat disinformation is with more information, not less information.
Yeah. Put a spotlight on it. That's the best way to do it, and that's what we're trying to do here. But let me ask you, Congressman, because they say that they're not done; they're just getting started in terms of releasing all of this. So far, what we've seen are all of this internal communication during 2020, ahead of the 2020 election. We haven't seen enough from 2021 and 2022. That's when you have a sitting government, Joe Biden's government, and administration. That's when we will know if this administration, is dictating what these social media companies can do. And where does that go? I mean, if you're going to do this investigation and you're talking about all of the social media companies, Google and Facebook, along with Twitter, do they have the threat of losing their Section 230 protection? Where will this go? And how will there be accountability?
Well, look, they do have the threat. I mean, we actually have some Democrats on the other side that believe that that protection needs to go away. I'm not sure about. Look, what I like to see is if you censor people, then that protection goes away. And so people would have the right to sue you if they're somehow censored. And so we need to find out, how it works, why, how these algorithm works, how these secret. I guess now we know that there are actually people behind this. what are those groups and how do they get to censor people, and really try to instill that, look, censorship is not a good thing. Who is the arbiter of censorship? So it's not a good thing. We just need to investigate it, and we will.
Well, you're representing constituents in Florida. I don't want to get your take on what Miami Mayor Francis Suarez is asking Elon Musk. He's urging Musk to move Twitter headquarters to Miami. San Francisco's city building department launched an investigation into Musk over reports that Musk is converting some building offices into bedrooms. He says he wants beds in there. Congressman, why launch an investigation? Because he wants to put beds in certain areas. I mean, this is outrageous. They're trying to investigate Elon Musk, obviously, because he doesn't agree with them.
Right, exactly. And so, you've got to shut him down. So I tweeted out that I want Elon Musk to come into Miami-Dade County as mayor of Miami-Dade. We created a great tech ecosystem here. But the great thing about Miami-Dade, is that we have a diverse population from all over the world, but even more importantly, we have diversity of thought. And that's what's missing in San Francisco. He needs to come to Miami or some other place where you have diversity of thought.
Yeah, we'll be watching that. We'll see. You didn't get an answer from him yet, right?
No, but we're going to keep trying because I really do believe he needs to get out of there.
Congressman, thank you. We'll be watching. Carlos Gimenez joining us. We'll be right back.